Long ago, in the times of ancient Greece, philosophers such as Socrates and Plato expanded the minds of men. In modern day, these philosophers have new names. They are Mitch and Dimitri. This is Manthropology.
Usere malakatiye, buddy.
Buddy. Digging those to Calgary, man. Minus 20 plus. It's supposed to be another week of this stuff going on. And you know what's funny? I've lived here all my life. You've lived here all your life. Why am I still surprised that it's minus 20 and it's February? Like, why am I mad about it? I don't know. How are you? I'm sorry. I just needed to start off with that. It's just like, well, what's going on here? What's going on?
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, but we shouldn't be surprised. You're right. We actually know what to expect at this point. There's no secrets. There's nothing. But speaking of knowing what to expect, Manthropi, thank you very much for tuning again this week. We're always appreciative to listen to this, what we have to say. What are we going to talk about? What can you expect this week from Manthropology? Look, we're going to talk about maybe the greatest DJ ever. It's a little touch and go. Mitch brought it up. I agree. We need to voice it. We just talked about it. A little teaser for you. Why do we live in the places that we live, being Greeks, knowing we have this amazing country that's just waiting for us? Quick pick 6, the Manthro mailbag. We're going to touch on a little bit of, we've done it before. We want to do it again. It's a little bit of the education world versus the street smart world. The debate continues. What reigns supreme? We'll find out. And of course, by popular demand, not because we want to, but because we have to, it's the Kotsobolyo Corner. Now, remember, please do us a favor before we get into it. The iTalk Media app is on the iTunes Store and the Google Play Store. Please, Manthropi, download it. Just tell one friend. Don't do anything. Tell one friend. Help them download it. You can listen to our show, which plays every single day, Monday to Monday. That's really, I guess, every single day. 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 12 a.m. or 8 o'clock p.m. and 12 a.m. Mountain Time. And of course, respectively in the East, that's 10 and 2. And there's a whole lineup of great shows, not just on the Greek side, but on the cultural side. So Stan, the man, and everyone there putting a lot of work together. Help support. Again, just tell a friend. And that's what I got for now. So yeah, let's get into it, Mitch. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Let's do this. And you're right about that. Tell one friend, tell another. So you can give all your friends Corona, but you can't tell them about Agape Greek Radio. You can't tell them about Mitch and Dimitri. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense.
Yeah, you'll have a party, a Corona party, and you can't be like, hey, download the iTalk Media app. How many useless apps do you all have on your phone? Like useless apps that you paid for too.
How many people today are inviting people over? Because it's Super Bowl Sunday. Let's quickly talk about not so much the game, because by the time you listen to this, the game will be played. But you got people coming over. You're putting snacks together. In fact, we got a small little competition going on.
Yes, we do.
It's ribs versus nachos, and it's on. I'm brazen. I'm getting ready up in the corner. I got the family working on everything. I got it all going, man.
You stand no chance.
Look, it's true.
Self-admittedly, if the competition was to get a pork shoulder and make some souvlakia, Mitch, you win.
Yeah,
Mitch, you win. Hands down. You're in my world now, Grandpa. You're in my world now.
It's true. Yeah, that's something, man. I have to admit, I know you had a restaurant for a little while, or like, more of a is it a restaurant? Did you guys consider?
I'd say quick. Look, it was quick service, right? Yeah, it was quick service. But before that, I mean, I spent time in the restaurant industry, had a great opportunity to work for some really cool people. That I will say. Yeah.
But where I was going with it is, you literally are one of the best. Like, dude, I actually would put your name in to compete in some of these things. Like, a lot of people wouldn't see you coming. You'd come from the back and you knock them out. You know what I mean? I think you should try it. Yeah, I think you should try it. I think you should give it a try, because you are a very, you send nice pictures when you cook. You got some good. It's great stuff. I mean, hey, I'm just saying it. Honestly speaking, no jokes. You should actually compete a little bit.
What do you think? Maybe an Instagram page? Why don't we do a Manthropology Instagram page?
There's something we really should have did that.
We really should, right?
Yeah.
And then we can do a little mix and match. Be like, look, this is what the guys are making. Take it. Fata.
with that being said, speaking of pages and speaking of guys that are actually on this exact platform. So yesterday, follow me. We finished a great dinner. Wife goes upstairs. I'm doing the dishes, which, by the way, I love doing. I don't know why. I'm a dish guy. I like doing the dishes. So I'm cleaning the kitchen. I said to myself, hey, you know what? I gotta be that guy. I just told you guys to download a Gappy Greek Radio. I gotta listen to it a little bit more often. I gotta listen to my fellow colleagues out there. Well, I didn't know what was on. I just turned it on to say, hey, let's see what's on. And the greatest DJ, you said it, and I couldn't believe you had listened to him as well. Alexi the DJ out of South Africa, I believe. This guy is the greatest. So he goes, go to my Facebook page if you couldn't listen to it. And I highly recommend it. He is, if you love your Greek music, but sometimes you like the old school mashups where you go from one song to another song, which I'm a huge advocate. When I go for runs, man, that's what I look for. I look for mashups. I look for great upbeat music. And DJ Alexi the DJ is literally the greatest. He is the best. I love him.
Mitch, you said it. I guess I got to steal your thunder here, but you said it. This guy is the Chris Shepherd of Agape Greek Radio, possibly the world. He's crazy. This guy can single-handedly, like, it could be 2 p.m. It could be 11 a.m. It doesn't matter what time. You listen to this guy's show and you just want to have a party. You're like, yeah, ole mazipa, man. He does like when you're in Greece and there's times when you can do it and times when you can't. When you're in Greece and they'll cut in the middle of the song, right? Like it'll be like agapegreekradio.com, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
You know what I'm talking
That's
about.
Stan.
Right?
I'm pretty sure it's Stan. Yeah.
Nicono Club Hits 101. Right? Like, but this guy, you're right, he cuts in and he's like, you're like, okay, man, let's go.
Yeah. I
Amazing.
love it.
Amazing.
I absolutely, and you're right. He makes you, I was just in a good mood yesterday, but he made me into a party mood, man. I wanted to get up and start that. He's my go-to now. When I go for running, when I do anything, I go to his Facebook page because obviously we're all on it at sync times each week. So I'm like, okay, well, he's my new go-to, man. This guy is the best.
Alexi.
I'm just saying, Alexi, congratulations. Love it. And by the way, your shout outs from Canada to Australia to your own locals. Like yesterday, he even put out a quick Zui Simas, the priest in that area had passed on. And he's yeah, man. And he's out there and he's like playing the music. He's like, I know this may not be the best, but he was somebody I grew up with. And he throws it out. I thought it was awesome, man. I was like, that's how it is, man.
Alexi, do us a favor, please. We're begging you. Can you make like a Manthropology playlist? We'll sell it. You get the cut. Like, let's just do this. What are we doing? I feel bad that I'm even saying it over the show because I just feel now that we presented an idea, everyone's going to want to jump on board.
You know what? Did me and you not talk about possibly, if it wasn't for Corona, to throw a party for everyone? It was going to be the first ever, and now we have a guy. I think we found the guy,
and we can have this guy on the screen.
I mean, does it work?
I don't know what you want.
I don't know.
I don't know what you want. How many more ideas do you people want out of this show?
Exactly. Sorry, I know we went a little long maybe on pumping.
I don't
Alexi
care.
The DJ. I don't care either.
30 more seconds.
Let's do it. I don't mind. I got no problem. Yeah, I agree. He's amazing.
He's taking crazy.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bring him on for those. From there, let's go to quick pick 6. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Always
Here we go.
Ready.
Be your age now forever or go back and be 20?
Be my age now forever.
Oh, you're crazy. More money or more time? I might ask this each week.
More time.
Rewind button or pause button?
Rewind. Yeah.
So you don't want to go back to the 20s, but you want a rewind button.
No, because you're talking different, right? Because if you hit the pause button, then you got to stop, you got to explain, you got to assess, and you're already stuck in that moment. It really doesn't do anything for you. If you hit rewind, you get to comprehend a little more what's going on.
I see the whole logic behind it. I like it. Meet Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first prime minister, or Justin Trudeau.
Come on, Sir John A. Macdonald.
So
if Trudeau's face makes any dollar bill, that's gonna be my new Harto Pezeta.
100%. 100%. Luxury hotel or the great outdoors?
Luxury hotel.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna massage you? A moose? Who's gonna give you a massage? Nobody. but
I don't know. Some
but
of those
Inga
look like moose.
It's okay. But Inga's gonna give you a great deep tissue. Would you rather be a big shot or stay as you are? I know, right?
Big shot with
Re-
Mitch Hodges, my partner in crime.
That's the way we do it. So I guess we're staying as we are.
There we
Excellent.
go.
There we go. Bonus question. I said it earlier. It's Super Bowl.
Okay.
Dimitri, Tampa Bay or Kansas City?
Kansas
You're on this-
City.
There it is. Boom. Done. Quick pick 6 for episode. I believe this is 21 now. 21? 21.
Yeah, so lucky 21. We hit the
21.
blackjack, baby.
We did it.
We did it.
We should have doubled up. We should have doubled up.
Should have doubled up.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
Mitch.
Let's get over to the Manthro mailbag, or did you want to go to?
I gotta cut in.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What do we got?
Akutiema, buddy.
Oh, we're going early. I like it. Okay, yeah.
We're going early because this I can't keep this one under wraps like this person can't keep it in their pants.
Okay.
Manthropology. It's Kotzebue your corner. I'm not even making this stuff up.
Yeah.
Everything else on the show is just a big lie. But this is the God honest truth. Mitch, Akutiema, buddy. So
Okay,
apparently,
sure. Yeah.
there's this Greek guy, okay?
Mhm.
And he's like, anyways, a bunch of the Greeks, they play hockey together. Okay.
Right.
So they play
Yeah.
hockey, whatever. You know, you go, you get changed, you shower after the game, you do all this stuff. Well, I guess this one guy, he kept changing inside of the washroom. He didn't want to
Okay.
change in front of everyone. Right. It was like
Alright,
the
yeah.
weirdest thing. And I guess the guys were like, the heck's wrong with this guy? Like, it's so weird. Like, we're grown men. Like, no one cares, right? This isn't high school. Well, we
Wait
still
a minute.
care, but
Okay, go on. You said you're going to be truthful.
Yeah.
You said you were going to be truthful. Okay, go on.
size doesn't matter, right, ladies? No.
Oh, we're getting to that in a second. though.
So apparently, like, it was the weirdest thing. They're like, okay, well, maybe something's wrong with the guy. So finally, after like a couple years, I guess, has been going on, he finally musters up the courage and he gets changed in front of everyone and goes into the shower. Well, guess what? Apparently, the guy, dare I
Really?
say, is an English long cucumber hiding in the grass. Not crazy. Now, I can't tell you the city. I can't
Right.
tell you the name. That would give it right away. But
Right,
that's
right.
the word on the street. So, ladies, don't judge the book by the covers. Can you
I
believe that?
have one question though. Is he like a big guy? Like, is he 6'5" or is he a little
No.
guy? 5'3"?
The guy
Like,
is
what's this guy?
the guy is 5'7", maybe
Mhm.
5'8", 150 pounds.
Whoa. Okay, well, there you go, ladies. I mean, you know what? Here's my whole thing on it. Obviously, he was changing in the stalls because he literally did look around one day and he's like, oh my God, they're still growing up and I've already grown up and I don't want to embarrass these guys. And so he was doing everyone a solid. Little did everyone know, as they're yellasing him, he was yellasing them behind the stall. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. This guy's probably like, oh, I can't do it to the guys. I can't do it. These are respectable businessmen. Some respectable people in the community.
Exactly. Oh, that's so funny. And you know what, Kalitra, because he knows too, us as Greek guys, that's what we're gonna be talking about the whole time. Like on the bench, on the after, blah blah blah. We're like, hey, did you see blah blah blah? Like even after we score, we would be scoring, and then we're all like crowded up, high five. We're like, hey man, did you guys see that or what? Like, it's not like, hey, great pass or great shot. It's like, did you guys see what I saw? Like, that was crazy.
Totally.
It's just a constant conversation.
And that's where Greek nicknames, like, they come to life. Because you know this guy now, like, if everyone finds out, right, his nickname is Putsaras.
Easily.
Right? Like that's just how it is, right?
Oh, sure it is. That's hilarious. That's a good one. For
Yeah,
the
right.
video corner. Yeah, just throw it out there.
You know, whoever you are out there, slow clap.
Yeah, slow clap for you. Congratulations to you. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's get over to the Manthro mailbag. Let's take a look. Okay, I'll start. You ready? Manthro mailbag. Here we go.
Okay, you got it.
Dear Mitch and Dimitri, first-time writer, long-time listener. I am going to be going on my first ever date once the COVID rule and restrictions are dropped in this coming week. I got to ask you guys, what's your go-to for first impression? Signed, can't make a first impression twice. So what's your go-to on your first date? Man, that was a long time ago. Hold on.
Yeah, let me get into the vault here. Well, look, if you just heard Kutsubolyo corner, I think I gave you the answer, but no. In all honesty here, the fact of the matter is this. All first impressions, whether you like it or not, are based on looks. It's the very first thing that we judge people on. Now, you can call that superficial. I like to call it the reality of life. So let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to do your hair. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to use good product. Got it? You're going to shower. You're going to shave. You're going to wear nice clothes. You're going to get di meno, omorphos, right? You have to present it. Okay. This is like fly fishing. You got to have a nice lure. You got to present it. You got to be elegant with it. If you sit there and think for 1 second that that stuff doesn't matter, look, man, I hate to break it to you, but you're dead wrong. Don't fall into the trap of mediocrity. Oh, well, look shouldn't matter. No, they do matter. Okay, they do. Now, I'm not saying you need to be sculpted like Mitch and I. I mean, we put a lot of work into these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, dress nice, look the part, looks matter, attraction matters. That's all I got for that, Mitch.
Dude, honestly, that's the best advice. And I don't always agree with my counterpart, but he's absolutely true. And here's the thing. You've probably been talking to this young lady or partner on social media. So you guys got to know each other. So that part of it, like sometimes it's A, B, C, D, get to know the person, be nice. Well, you've kind of covered B and D, maybe B, C, D, whatever. So yeah, you gotta be presentable now. And none of this, I know it's your generation and maybe just wear, skinny sweatpants and all that. Nah, man, put a little effort in, because God knows the girl's probably gonna put her efforts in. So match her tit for tat. And then I couldn't agree more. I 100%. No one walks into a bar and says, "Hey, you know that person over there? I know they look really crappy, but I bet you they got a great personality." That's not how it works. You look over, whoa, that's a nice looking person, and you go over and you engage. And okay, sarah. And maybe you're that guy in the locker room. Who knows? We don't know. It is.
Hey,
and
Mitch,
and if you happen to be, use that as your ace, your pocket aces for later on. You know what I mean?
Mitch, the proof is in the pudding. You talked about social media. Let me ask you one question. How many ugly people you follow on Instagram? I thought so.
Yeah, good point. Good point. You got a Manthro bag?
I got a Manthro mailbag. I do. All right, here it goes. Dear Mitch and Dimitri, first-time writer, long-time listener. Thank you very much. Look, a gentleman that I work with just got fired. Well, at least that's how I perceived it. Bottom line is he got walked off the job. Here's the thing. We were kind of close, loved working with the person, but I understand how these situations go about. My question to you is this. Do you reach out and say, "Hey, nice working with you"? Do you stop communications altogether? Is there a grace period? Sincerely, didn't make the cut, Opolis.
Oh, didn't make the cut, Opolis. You know what? I'm one of these guys that you should always keep your eye on the ball and on your competition and or just a friend. If you became friends with this guy during this time, then yeah, reach out. Hey man, what happened? Are you okay? And yeah, let's go a little kotsobolyo, a little on the side, but also, hey, as a human to a human, how you doing? Are you sure? I'm sorry to hear what happened, blah, blah. And you know what? You don't know where this person's going to go down the road. If this person ends up being highly successful in an industry that you're also in, why wouldn't you want to be next to this guy? Why wouldn't you want to keep your tabs? And all you had to do was make a couple of phone calls, send a monthly email or something to this guy to say, "Hey man, how's life?" I don't think it's a lot. I think you have to keep all your options open. And if this guy does somehow become a competitor of yours, okay, he's a competitor, but that doesn't mean you have to hate each other. It's business versus business at this point. And you go from there, but you don't have to be best friends, but I think you'd be very dumb not to at least keep some tab on him or whatever the case may be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it.
Likewise, Mitch, you know what? I don't like agreeing with you, but I completely agree with you here. You never know. And you know what? Sometimes those problems are not your problems. They're other people's problems, and employer, employee, whatever the case is, you don't need to get involved either, right? I agree. Yeah. No. Well said, Mitch.
Well, from there, let's talk a little bit. You wanted to I think it's you read your mailbag and you said you wanted to talk about education versus experience, basically. Do you feel like you can segue into this? Bring me into this world.
Absolutely. Because, we talked about, I saw this one. I'm like, oh, okay. Right. Like, I remember we had PA on the show.
Yes.
And we
talked
absolutely about it. And PA, we'd love to have you back. Actually, that was a fantastic show.
I can call him right now.
We could call him right now if we want. We have the capability. And no, he's not who I'm talking about in Kotzebue Corner.
No, he's
This
not.
comes to no surprise. No, just kidding. But no, yeah, we went into this long debate about, because a lot of the times when people are leaving or getting fired, it's typically a performance issue, right?
Yeah.
More often than not, right? And so there's the school, there's the school versus the street smarts. And funny enough, about a week ago, I was kind of rehashing this same topic with my cousin as well. It's been top of mind. I said, perfect opportunity. Let's revisit it, right? And so, you got schooling on the one side, the education on the one place where, yeah, these institutions, there's nothing wrong with them. You go there to learn. Is it the full part of the puzzle, Mitch? What comes next? Because then you have people on the other side that say, look, I didn't go to school, or they'll read a biography of someone who dropped out at high school or left college and went on to become this amazing success story. So what wins? What's the recipe, Mitch?
Well, after that discussion that we had with PA, and he was here, and he's a very educated guy, and I'm not, and we happen to be best friends. We've known each other all our lives, and when it comes to bank accounts, I actually have never asked him. Best friend, like literally my closest friend, I've never asked him how much he makes, but I know he does okay, and I do okay. But here's the thing. After that discussion, I thought about it. I'm like, education does play a little bit, maybe more of a role than I thought. After that discussion, I'm like, maybe he had some points and blah, blah, blah. But now I would say that's been 6-7 months ago since we did that show, Dimitri. And with COVID still around, and it sounds like it's going to be around, the new variants around and all that stuff. Maybe we go another 6 months. Maybe this lasts a year and a half. What I can tell you is that experience and hustle is much, much, much more important than actual school. So if I had a pie graph, I would tell you right now, the number one thing you need is ambition, and you got to love what you do. Number two, you got to have the moxie and the hustle to go get it. And then if you have the education, I would say that's third on the list. And I would even go as low as 35, maybe I'll say 40, but I actually think it's even less. I'd even go 30. I think you need the pie graph to be 75%. So, or pardon me, 70%. 35 has got to be the hustle. And no, I'll go 40. You got to love what you do. Even more than that, maybe I'll go 50, and then 20 and 30, and then go that way. I'm telling you right now, man, if I've learned anything, I like my job. I do. And I'm very appreciative of my job. But man, if I was actually doing something that I absolutely love, this COVID thing wouldn't have been a problem to me. And as I look at people, I work in the banking industry too, Manthropology, if you don't know this. And I actually happen to have the privilege of working with a lot of commercial, meaning like businesses. And I'll tell you right now, the ones that are succeeding are not just industry based. It's the guys I can tell, and I know personally, that have been doing it for years and they love what they do. The guys that are struggling, yes, granted, yeah, some of them is industry based. Like if you own a gym, you're kind of hooped right now. Doesn't matter what you do, how smart you are, how much you love the gym industry. But there are some industries that there's no reason they should be not doing well, and they're getting killed. Why? Because they didn't go in it for love. They went in it for money, and now they're getting killed because they don't have that agape for it. They don't have that love. So as of the last show and as of today, bringing this question up again, I'm telling you right now, education, yes, plays a role. Go get it, but not as much as you got to fall into a realm of how much you love your job and the experience behind it. You got to put some hours into it, man. You do, no matter how much you love it.
Well said, Mitch. Well said. And that's why I think this is a really cool topic that can get revisited over and over, because you learn and you get more perspective, which is funny enough, the education side. Here's what I've come up with since our last talk. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I think the problem when you get into these arguments is who are you talking to about it? So if you're talking to, let's just go quick in the Greek community. If you're talking to someone who did, they came from Greece, didn't graduate. Let's face it, a lot of our parents in that generation, they didn't even get to go to high school. They couldn't afford it. They're all choreators, very philanthropy, and they came over. So they're going to tell you, look, they were telling us about education because they saw this really hard path that they took to get somewhere. But that's also where we see the ultimate hustle. Well, they'll say, look, you can get an education. Yeah, you can go be smart. But at the same time, you got to go out and you got to get the business. You got to chase it. You got to hustle. You got to do this. No one's giving nothing to you. And so if you're talking to them, you're going to put a little shade on education. When you're talking to someone else that's, let's say, um, a doctor, they're
Mhm.
going to be like, look, there's no entry level dishwashing doctor jobs
That's
where
true.
you can kind of work on 1,000 hearts before you get it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I've come. It depends who you talk to. So the problem is we just put in this big bucket education versus the hustle in the streets. So what I've realized is that in some cases, the education absolutely matters. Like I would say 80-20. So if you're going to be a dentist, yes, it matters. If you're
Well, of
going to
course.
be a surgeon, yeah, it absolutely matters. If you're going to be a lawyer, absolutely it matters. You
I
know,
would debate that one. I'd like to debate that. I
well,
I I
follow
disagree on
me on
that, Your
this.
Honor.
Yeah. I got it. Well, the thing, because anything like that, you have to read, study, and know all
No,
the
of course.
laws,
I'm
proceed.
joking
Like,
around. I'm
no,
joking.
I know. I caught it afterwards. See, that's why I'm not a lawyer. I'm not that smart. No.
Hey,
Hey, oh. So,
but
yeah, that's where it matters. But a lot of education and what gets bundled up into it is completely subjective. So, for example, years ago when I was 19, I went to school for hotel restaurant management. Okay, I can learn a couple few things, but that education's not the be all end all. If you
agreed.
go to school for an MBA, I hate to break it to you, all you MBAers that that feel that this is going to guarantee you something. That's a very subjective thing. So a lot of education in the system, okay,
Mhm.
teaches you what you should get out of it is to teach you how to think, how to view the world, how to open up. But I'm still on the train. I think it's more so it's a 70-30 hustle versus education, because
Yeah.
you have to continually educate yourself, but action actually leads to results, not sitting and reading a book. So Bill Gates, who reads 4 hours a day, Warren Buffett, who read 4 hours a day, also spend the other 8 doing, calling, hustling, going this,
Exactly.
blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk, these guys, the same thing. So education is important. You got to learn how to think. You got to educate yourself. You got to be you have to understand the world out there, but you do got to take action. So the 30% is, yeah, there's a small part of the education piece. You need it, but it makes up a small part of the educational world. My 2 cents, Mitch.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And I think you hit it on it earlier. Look, if you want to be a doctor, so you're growing up, you want to be a doctor. Yeah, you can't fake it. You have to go to school and you got to study. You got to be a book person. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Because when you're a doctor, you don't have to have the hustle's different. It's not the same kind of hustle. I think the hustle when me and Dimitri are talking about are more sales oriented. Like how are you going to find more clients? You got to go out and get them. This, that, the other, which is no matter what you do, it's kind of the majority. Even if you're like a nail esthetician, if you're a hairdresser, you're kind of a salesperson. If you got a bad product and if you're not good at customer service and talking to your clients, they ain't coming back, even if your haircuts are great. So the hustle that Dimitri and I think are talking about are more like from a sales point of view. Again, to your point, if my mom used to compare me to like this one scientist kid that was in our community. Why can't be? I was never a good school kid, man. I was never good in school. I just didn't like it. I love listening to talk during a class. If the teacher ever gave us a pop quiz after class, I'd be great. But
No.
2 days later, I can't remember. I just couldn't remember. I couldn't hold it in. I wasn't that guy. Okay. So everyone learns differently. Everyone's got a different road. So I couldn't agree more. Bottom line is if you're that guy, you want to be a doctor, lawyer, all that, yeah, you got to be a book. There's no way of outdoing it. You could out hustle your fellow doctor and maybe be first in class. But at the end of the day, the way you repair a heart is pretty much the same way you should be repairing all of the hearts, I would imagine, right?
Totally. And I mean, again, but this is the circle that me and you are in, right? We're in a branch of business, whereas, you know what, the best piece of advice I got when I started down this career was you could be the smartest advisor in the whole entire planet. But if you got no one to tell that to, what is
Yeah,
it worth?
exactly.
What is it worth?
Exactly.
You know,
Nothing.
Look at Stan, the radio station, same thing. He could be the best sound editor, production guy. He has all this experience, but if he doesn't go out and find gems like Manthropology,
Right.
We're not going to fall on his lap.
We didn't fall on your lap, Stan. You came and found us. Exactly.
And don't think like dressing up like Santa is going to entice us any different.
Yeah. It's not. You know, I got a quick thing I wanted to say. One last thing I wanted to say about the hustle.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing, man. You know, I don't care how good looking you are, how smart you are. And well, no, you know what's funny is that the hustle never ends. Like, I don't want to sound cheesy. I don't want to sound like I'm that kind of guy that's like, oh, you know, all you got to do. It's every day. If you think, okay, so let's say today you sold 15 pizzas, okay, and you're like, you know what, that was all me. I got out there, I pushed 15. You got to do it again tomorrow and the day after, and it's not all a one day thing. And I think people, and I definitely fall into this. I'll have one great day at work where I'm like crushing some deals, and then what do I do the next day? I'm not as ambitious. I'm not, and it's a horrible little thing that I have in me, that I seem to thrive on pressure. When I'm stressed out, I work better. And it's like, that's another thing I'm proud of, but I'm not proud of. I like working under pressure, where I've noticed, holy cow, especially during COVID, man, pressure can literally break some people. I had no idea that it was, and I've learned a lot this COVID season, man. I got to be honest, like your mentality is a big thing not to fool around with. I hate to admit this. I used to think that people that would complain about anxiety and stuff like that were, I'll use the word weaker, just because I didn't know much more about it. And then as I got more into it and I saw it firsthand, unfortunately, it's a real thing. And it's one of those things that I'm like, man, fighting every day is a real thing. There's a fight in all of us that we're all combating. Mine happens to be just a little bit of lackadaisical work, where I'm a hard worker. Like in the trenches, you're not going to find a guy that works harder. But when it comes to like, give me praise, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm good. I'm good for a week. I'm good. And it's bad. It can't be like that. If you're going to hustle, you got to hustle every day. And I got to incorporate that more into my life. So I'm sorry, man, where people think hustling is just a one-time thing and you hit it one side of the ballpark. It is not. It is absolutely not. It's not.
You're right. It's an adrenaline shot, right? And it goes away so quickly because you work so hard. And then you get it. See, it's funny, like the sales cycle or the hustle, however you want to frame it, you know, in any bit, and it's really in any business that's based on scale and any type of entrepreneurship. But it's like you haven't had a cigarro for weeks, and then you finally got it, and you're like, I didn't get at that. Oh, amazing. Right. And then it goes away.
Yeah.
That fast. So you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You know what we should do, Mitch? We got to get like a coach on here or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should.
We don't do interviews because, let's face it, we don't like people cramping our style.
It's true. No, right? You know who we could get on? Who? And she's the one that kind of introduced us to Gappy Greek. She's kind of up that alley, isn't Ando?
Oh yeah. Write that down.
There. Write that down. Okay. Done. From there, I want to talk about the hardest hustlers. I want to bring somebody up, or all these people up, because, okay, so we said it a second ago. We've been working from home. We're doing our thing. And you know what's funny? So my wife got back to work. She's a hairdresser, so they lifted the restrictions. So she's back to work. And I get my little guy from Mondays and Thursdays, right? Like we all live together. We're not divorced. Right? So meaning I take primary. I'm primary on the Monday. Thursday, right?
Corner.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I literally want to give a huge shout out to all the moms out there. All the moms that are either working full-time, part-time, but have one or two kids. And I know your wife's got the newborn and your other little one there. Dude, I don't know how they do it. So tomorrow, Kat has to go to work a little earlier. She gave me a quick rundown of what she's got to do before I take over. And I'm like this, how are you going to do all this? I don't know how you women do it. First off, you make this thing in your tummy, you put it in there, right? You know, by the way, we helped. You get it all in there, and then it comes out. You got to mentally get back into the game. You physically got to get back into the game. And then on top of it, depending if you have a partner or not or whatever, you literally take it all the way through. And it's so, like, the more I get into because now he's at that age, Kostaki's at that age where he's 1.5, and man, he's getting a little bit more dependent on mom. So he's crying a little bit more. He's a little bit more whatever. And I'm like, every day I'd go I think I might go bananas if I was to deal with this every day for 9 to 10 hours. So huge shout out to the mamas out there because it is impressive to say the
Oh,
least.
oh man, it's actually unbelievable. You don't think of these things, right? Like for example, Tamara was up at 4 a.m. Okay, feeding Alessia, then wakes up, right? And then now I'm like, hey, Tamara, can you take the kids upstairs? You know, we got to record Manthropology. Hey, you know, I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't have them screaming around. We're
Yeah.
working on
Well,
something over here, right?
We got something here. Yeah, exactly.
It's I feel like the biggest malaka sometimes, but I'm not unappreciative.
Agreed.
So look,
Agreed.
Manthropi, pro tip here. Sometimes you got to understand that you're just the player in the game. And when you get tapped on the shoulder, you make sure you run on the field
Yeah.
and you play. Okay.
Yeah.
You're there
Be
for
ready.
support. You pitch, you fill in wherever coach tells you, coach being mom. Got it?
Yeah.
So when coach tells you go do this and go do that, just be there. That's all.
Yeah.
Because you're right, Mitch. Like as much as we joke around and how you frame it, the fact of the matter is there's just some things that we can't get to, right? But if we're called upon to help, we call upon to help. That's it.
No, dude. And it's not a knockdown to us guys, but guys, come on.
Don't complain.
For all the guys that are, good dads, we're all great dads. I truly think we're all fantastic dads. Like all our buddies, I don't think there's one deadbeat dad out there. Okay.
No.
So it's not that, but let's call a spade a spade. It's the manes that truly run the show and take care of everything, and homage to them, because sometimes I don't say it enough. I just told her before I came down here because I think she deserved it. And I wanted to tell the Manthropi people, sometimes the hardest job, forget the hustle, forget education. It's that. Talk about learning on the job. There you go. There's one for you. There you go.
Folks, man. Yeah, you gotta take care of business. Absolutely. Exactly. You gotta help out. Well done, Mitch. Hey, well done.
As Manthropi guys, we love the women that make us who we are. There we go. From there, let's go to the Greek segment of Manthropology. It's Lipon.
What a great segment you came up with here.
So I'm perusing the internets, and I find that Greece right now is thinking about opening it up for the summertime only to countries, and two of them have hit the list, Britain and Israel, because the rollouts have almost been completed, believe it or not, for the vaccine. For those that wanted to take the vaccine, it's almost completed. And they're saying, okay, our borders, our beautiful islands, the country is open for maybe just these two countries and or any other country that hits all their vaccine shots. Dimitri, do you like this idea that Greece is opening up at all really this summer?
Look, man, I love it. And I love that there's a short list. It's called supply and demand. It's about time that whatever comes into this country are people with lefta, people that respect it, people that enjoy it. And you know what? Greece should really think about this moving forward. What a great tourism trap. Just be like, hey, sorry. I get you want to see the Parthenon. I get you love our islands, but you didn't make the list. So maybe, do a little better.
It's like the VIP of a bar, right? Like you can only get in.
The Greeks did it. The VIP of world travel.
There it is. Exactly. Now I got a quick little, maybe you don't have to answer it, but this idea that you do have to have the vaccine, that you got to take it to travel. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's fair or not fair?
Not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair, but I think I truly do believe that once this all starts calming down a little bit more and this and that, I think that's really going to be the conditions, man. I think it's show us that you've gotten both shots, and welcome to Air Canada. You know what I mean?
It's the next wave. It's unfortunately the next wave. It's going to be what we're going to be talking about for a long time. United Airlines. The CEO came out a few weeks ago and said he wants to make it mandatory that every employee gets a vaccine, but we digress. Lipon.
We want a huge shout out, and we kind of started a fight last week on the internet. It's me and you, along with our team over at RLRT. Australia's own number one, George Kambosos Jr. has got the number one shot, and he will be fighting Teofimo Lopez coming up. Greek guy. This is you don't have to be into sports to understand. This is big. This is for the lightweight championship, and our guy, George Kambosos Jr., has the number one chance to be the number one guy in the world. How excited are you, Dimitri?
I'm extremely excited because number one, we've known this guy for a few years now while he was coming up in the ranks. So Manthropy, look, we have a very proud Greek, the WBC and the IBF world ranked number one lightweight fighter. You have to go in, or super lightweight, excuse me. You have to go and support this guy at George Cambosos Jr. on Instagram. Love it.
Love it. Absolutely. We are super proud of you, George. Congratulations. And to all the Greek, and rumor has it that fight, because Australia is basically open, they're doing great. They've almost killed the COVID. You know what I mean? The way we killed gout years ago, they've killed COVID, and the fight is going to actually happen in Australia. So for all the Australians out there, that I'd be surprised if you don't know who George is, get to know George and get to that fight. How wicked would it be to watch all those Greek flags and George coming out to, that's a home field advantage. That's a home field advantage.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
I know, it's exciting, man. That's awesome. All right. Lipon. Yesterday, I'm talking to my father-in-law. He's over in Greece. Great guy. He lives in Kalabaka. Kalabaka is literally central Greece, right in the middle. Point your finger right in the middle of the Kharti, and he's right there. Okay? We're talking yesterday. Pedia, tikanate posiste, posinokeros. Calgary, Alberta, Canada, minus 25 yesterday. Kalabaka, plus 25, a 50-degree swing. Dimitri, why the hell are we living here at any time during the year?
Were you in my conversation yesterday?
I don't think so.
With DT? Were you and DT in my conversation? I don't know why we live here sometimes. Like, there actually are better places in the world. Or are they? I don't know. But when weather like that is staring you in the face, this can't be it forever. This can't be my life forever.
Dude, we got to do something, because this is, look, I said it at the beginning of the show. I love Canada. I do. And we'll get into it in Maga Malaka in a few minutes. But the reality is, this is getting to the point now. This is literally getting to the point where I don't know why. Okay, so you got the COVID thing. You got Alberta, where we live, is just getting thrashed every which way by our own country as well. Let's call it what it is.
That's right.
Then on top of it, you got a lot of begging for us to come back. You're saying to yourself, why are we not listening? What are we doing here?
They're just dangling it in front of our faces.
Yeah. Like the guy in the, what's it called? Exactly. He's like, guys, come on. I don't know, man. For me right now, I'm at the point of my life where I'm like, I said it last week. I think I could see myself living in Greece. And I'm starting to realize as I get older, why am I putting up with this? Why am I putting up with it? I don't know. Just a thought. You?
I don't know, Mitch. There's some, I've said it before, there's good and there's bad. Like the weather, the beach, the food, the history.
Okay, hold on. That's all Maga Malaka later. Put that to the side.
Actually, come to think of it, yeah, all the good things are over there, aren't they?
It's getting, buddy, I'm finding it harder and harder and harder every day to like justify why we're here. Like, I mean, okay, look, Alberta is known to be cold during February. It's fine. But when you hear Kalabaka, which isn't, it gets hot there, granted. But I mean, at the same time, 50-degree swing.
When you hear, my dad was on the phone with his sister, my Thea, this morning. It was this morning. It's funny you bring it up because same thing. They're like, oh my goodness, got these right? Like she was just going off, and we're like, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, we're in 30 degrees too, just the other way. The
minus down. With that being said, every time I tell my cousins who know it's cold here, and I'll say to them, yeah, it's minus 20, minus 30. You should see their faces, man. It's so funny. They're like, what? Really? And they're all educated, but they just can't figure it out. They're like, how do you guys live like that? How do you live?
Why are you there by choice?
But,
what?
But what's funny is like, they just don't understand. And then, who I really love talking to about it is when we go to a community event and somebody straight from Ilada comes here, like they just got here. It's their first winter. And they're like, what? What's going on here? What's going on? They actually are, and they're also kind of proud of themselves because they've actually been able to cope with the cold where they thought they would probably die. So I thought it's always funny to watch them like Lepis, minus 30, tuekana. We're like, yeah, we go with our shirts off like all the time.
And it's so funny too, because winter is different in Greece as well. Now, I will say this, right? Like the humidity, it's bone chilling. No one will argue that. Like when it gets cold in Greece, I think people underestimate it. Actually gets really cold in Greece, right? Different kind of cold, but still, it's funny because whenever people dress at wintertime for Greece, it's still very fashionable. Like they're just wearing like really like light short jackets with a cascol over top, and they're like, "Ah, irte, himonas, kani krio." Meanwhile, here we're like, we're like this, we're like,
You know, one thing I wanted to Lipon. I found one thing I wanted to bring up. Donald. Donald's gone. He's out of office, and he obviously got deplatformed, as we talked about a little while ago, off Twitter.
yeah.
And now you don't hear anything about him. Anything. Nothing. So my question is like, you know, talk about a guy that was the president of the United States of Americas for 4 years, and then this last year, right? And then all of a sudden, nothing.
Done.
Nothing. It's talk about what have you done for me lately, eh? Like, man, do we get rid of people fast in media?
This presidency is a "what have you done for me lately" league, that's for sure. But I will say this, Mitch, he's also got a court trial coming up that he's got to prepare for.
I'm 100% confident that nothing will happen in that stuff. And here's my reason why, is because all presidents, no matter how much you love them or didn't love them, they've all done something that they shouldn't have maybe did or whatever. And this, yes, even Obama, I'm pretty sure probably did something that he shouldn't have. And I think it's an unwritten rule that basically all presidents, because it's a high stress, guys, we have to like look at it from a point of view. Like they're running the world from one point of view. We got to cut him a little slack. Like, does he deserve a little reprimand or something? Sure. I mean, this for him is his reprimand. He hates being the bad guy. Like he loves it when people love him. So doing this to him and not giving him a voice either, we already, as they say, we already copied his podia. So he's already done. So leave him be. He's useless to everyone now. You move on with it. There's nothing you're going to gain out of it. Who cares, right?
I agree.
Yeah. And we'll leave it on this last one here. When it comes to Canadian politics, the second variant is apparently here in Alberta. I can tell you they've got 80 new cases of it. Dimitri, are you worried or not worried about the second variant of the COVID?
No, I'm not worried.
Really? Why not? Why aren't you not?
What's to be worried about?
I don't know, because it's a new strain. It's faster. You know, you could get it more. This, that, the other. Nothing.
No, to me, I just view it as the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe it's a little more communicable, but again, there's just, I don't know, man. It's such sensitive news that all of a sudden you're like, what? There's a variant? Yeah. What?
I don't know, man. I'm at the, well, you know what worries me about it? It's not the actual variant. It's how are the politicians going to take it? And is it just another reason to lock us all in and keep us away from each other? And I'm not saying they're doing it all the time on purpose or it's like their mandate to do it. But man, this is getting tough now. And you know what? Come springtime, I don't think there's anybody across Canada or any other country right now that if you've been locked up and you've been, you know, let's call it abiding by the rules to some degree, I don't see anybody abiding by springtime. Once the weather gets nice, like -30 today, yeah, okay, we're all staying in. Super Bowl's on. Care, Mitch. But yeah,
Mitch, no one's gonna care. And you know what? They have 80 new cases of a variant, and now we're able to reopen again partially on February 8th. So sorry, no. All they're doing is this balancing act. And look, I don't want to get into that or whatever, but no, I'm not worried about it. It's a variant. If that's the case, should we just not be worried about the flu even more so every year because there's a mutation and it changes every single year? But yet miraculously, there's no flu case.
Uh-oh. Okay. Are we going down the rabbit hole?
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
Let's go down the rabbit hole. Rumping down the money trail. Hippity hoppity.
I'm done. Nope, not doing it.
All right, let's get into it. Let's go over to Maga Malaka. Let's do it. And if you haven't guessed, yeah, it's about Maga Malaka, why we stay in Canada. Here it is. Ready? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. First one, it's an easy one. Weather, Maga or Malaka, why we stay in Canada? The weather's got to be a reason why we stay here.
You know what? I'm gonna say Maga. Now follow me on this.
Okay, all right.
Follow me on this.
Yep.
We still get to play hockey. We still get to go skiing. There's some nice winter sports. So whether there's a Maga component, Crio is Malaka. That's my fine line.
I will say this, and I don't know which province is maybe the best at it, but I do like seasons. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in a country where, and I'm not saying Greece is like this, but that you don't have the actual season. Like I actually love fall, man. I like the leaves color changes. I like that stuff, right? Winter, yeah, it's kind of neat because you know what? People do travel here around the world to come to our backyard, right? To come to the mountains to see, you know, where they don't have it. So we have to kind of remember, as much as the Clio sucks, that I agree with you. You know what? I'm gonna put it down as MAGA as well. Canada, 1-0 versus Greece. Here we go.
Well, because I got to tell you, the thing is that the real complaint is not the seasons or the cold or the weather. The complaint is always when summer doesn't go the way that we need it to be. So if we're stuck here and we can't travel, if we don't get 3 to 5 months of just some decent weather where we can barbecue, where it's not snowing or raining and it's July, then we're fine. Outside of that, yeah, it's brutal.
You're right. Okay, Maga Malaka, why we stay in Canada? Food. The food in Canada is better than in Greece. Maga or Malaka?
Yeah, I'm going to go MAGA with that because we got to remember that hold on. It's not just Greek. You see, in Greece, you get Greek food and maybe a trendy. Right?
A trendy.
You know? Or maybe, what's the burger joint? Goodies.
Goodies, yeah. Good.
But here you got to remember, we got all cultures of food across the landscape. At any given moment, you can go to any country to eat.
You know what? Weirdly enough, I kind of agree with you. I see it. However, I have to admit, man, I don't know what it is. Why is it that the patatas in Greece taste better? Why is it a tomata taste better in Greece? So I'm going to go,
buddy.
I'm going on Greece, but this is all about you right now. It's 2-0 Canada on Greece.
I'm just
telling you, I don't know what you're doing here.
Pound for pound, yes, the tomates are better over there. Okay, everything's better over there. But I'm going to throw another one for you. Tell me who makes better tzatziki. There's no way that when you go to Greece, you just get yaourti and skordo. It's better than a Greek restaurant. Anywhere in Canada you go to, they're better cooks here.
I would say you have a point. You have a point, but I'll take Yaya Effie over any cook in Canada any day of the week. Just it depends who you got.
I'll take Santorini Greek Taverna's tzatziki over Yaya Effie's any day of the week.
Respect. Okay? I get you. But
just
looking at the tally, Canada 2, Greece nothing. Why we stay in Canada? Taxes. Maga or Malaga. The taxes in Canada.
You got to go to Greece.
You got to go to Greece. Now I'm going to Greece. Okay.
Look, it's a cash business, and I respect it.
Now that they're actually collecting them, you know.
Even then, there's wiggle room in Greece.
All right, work. Maga Malaka. When it comes to the work, who's got better jobs, Canada or Greece?
Look, it's hard for me to bet against a country that you can be a cabana boy and make a living, but I got to go with Canada. It's just too much diversity. You can literally, with all things being equal, if you're out of a job and you live in Canada, you should actually slap yourself in the face.
Yeah, it's true. You got a point. You've got a point. Let's go to easier travel. So Canada, Magar Malaka, easier to travel out of Canada than in Greece. Better travel, maybe. So I'll give you an example. It's a weekend. Tamara turns to you and you're in Athens. Dimitri, let's go to Paris. 2-hour flight, 3-hour flight, whatever, right? Tamara, let's go to Saskatoon. Hour and a half flight. Who's got the better travel?
Both desirable places. You tell me that Moose Jaw is available and I am there.
Boom.
Boom.
No,
come on, it's Greece. Look, you know what I love about Greece? I will say this. Number one, Aegean Airlines. Effing Airlines. The thing is top dollar. Okay. Number two, you got a train you can travel anywhere through Europe. You got multiple flights and they're cheaper. You know what I can't get over, Mitch? You could go from Athena to London and pay 100 euros, but to take a flight from here to Vancouver, you're paying $500. What are we doing over here?
Here we go. Maga Malaka lifestyle. Why we're still in Canada? Lifestyle. What's better?
Greece. Come on. That's a no contest. I don't need to explain it. We don't need to go into that.
So the game's tied at 3. Greece came back, tied it at 3. It's the last question. And with all due respect, it's the most important question. Why we stay in Canada? The opposite sex. What's more? Who's got it going on? Dimitri, you're on the hot spot.
You have
the opposite sex.
You have my attention. Look,
It's basically Canada versus Greece, women for us. Go go on it, my friend. Go ahead.
oh, Mitch, I love your little trap game. But look, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. Canada wins.
What?
Hold on.
Oh, we just
Hold
lost all our viewers.
Hold
There
on,
it is.
hold on,
Done.
hold on. Because I'm going to tell you something that is true across the board. You could find the most beautiful Yineka in Greece, and there are plenty.
Oh,
Let me
yes.
tell you something. They still smell like the Gorio. Okay. How many
Hey,
times?
hey.
How many times have you seen a knockout and you're like, are those hilopites? Like, is that Mitzithra I'm smelling? What is that? That's the weirdest thing. And it happens at the club.
That's an
Now,
unfair. That's
hold
not
on. Let me
fair. That's not
finish.
fair.
Let me
Yeah,
finish. The Greek girls here
right.
are a way better class of Greek girl than they are over there. So yeah, love to all you Canadian Greek girls. And then look, just like the smorgasbord of feuilleton and restaurants, guess what, Canada? You could be in any country in that respect too.
Yeah.
We have it all. We have the world. So yeah.
You know what? I'm not for again. I don't know what this show. Maybe we should title this show. I agree with you because I'm actually on your side, 110%, all the way through. You are absolutely correct. Now, maybe the girls in Greece smell like kilopitas. No, maybe I won't go that far,
Not
but
all
I
of them,
will
but
say
you know what I mean.
no.
You
No,
know
I
what
do get it. I do get it. You're right. You're right. I there it is. It's Maga Malaka. Canada, why we stay in Canada. Dimitri, what a great episode. I loved it. I had fun.
Controversial, action packed, what the people want. We did it. You know, sometimes Mitch and I, we don't give ourselves credit. We say, oh my God, do we have anything to talk about? But just, hey, give us a mic, a couple topics, and we'll fill up an hour. No
Right there.
problem. But I also want to say we only get to fill up this hour because all of you, Manthropy, and everyone out there, you help make this possible for us. We thank you for your support. You tune in each week, and we're actually really grateful for all of those that you guys are messaging us and emailing us and giving us the 2 cents and whatnot. So look, I want to give a shout out here to, of course, Stan the Man. I want to give a shout out to Mariana as well, who's doing some work behind the scenes, really helping us out. We appreciate the love and support, and really everyone, everyone that's just helping make this possible. DJ Alexis, come on, buddy. We need a playlist. Do it for us. Do it, please.
Let's do it.
We're begging
I
you.
love it.
iTalk
Absolutely.
Media app, download it. Google Play in the iTunes store. You can listen to us every single day. We're playing on agapegreekradio.com in the app, of course, 8 p.m. Mountain Time as well as 12 a.m. respectively in the East. That's 10 and 2. Facebook page, Agape Greek Radio, whole list of lineup. It's awesome. And look, we love you, and we'll see you next week, Manthropy.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and have a great and hopefully warm week. Talk to you soon, guys.